Well, a very good evening, one and all. And as Mr. Drew spins around on his chair, I welcome you to the Studio Rats Q&A Live number 199. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And you are all very welcome to our weekly gathering of geniuses, minds, and other such folk.
Say genius. Say geniuses.
Yeah, well, someone is probably somewhere.
Yeah,
it is tradition at this point that I sit back in my chair and I say, Mr. Drew, what have Yao been up to?
I bought a new guitar.
Ooh.
Arrived. When did that arrive? I didn't show that on last week's show, did I?
No, because it hadn't arrived at that point.
Okay, it's got a new guitar. Sold a guitar. Sold a couple of guitars.
What you sold?
The PRS hollow body's gone.
Right.
And the blue Strat's gone.
Oh no, okay, not surprised about that.
Yeah. No, the blue Strat was great. It was a really great sounding Strat, but it was a little bit clean. It was a little bit too pristine for me. What else has gone? Don't think anything else has gone. Yes, we've got new guitar. It's good because I've been feeling like I've been stuck in a bit of a playing rut for ages. Just like not just playing. Just felt like things aren't synchronized properly. And I feel like I'm coming out of that now. So it's taken ages.
Good.
But I feel like I'm coming out of that now, which is really good.
Excellent.
What else? I did a long bike ride yesterday, 45k.
Wow.
Yesterday. Yeah. The old legs are hurting a bit. And that's about it.
What's that in Church of England? 45k.
Lots.
It's about 20. That's a good 20 mile, isn't it?
Oh, it's more than 20. Yeah. No, it's like 30 miles. It's like 30 miles. Someone will tell us. I'm sure someone's working it out right now, and they're going to put it in the comments. Anyway, what about yourself?
Been busy. Lots of new things arriving in the post. Some I can't talk about until next week. Right. Some I can. This arrived this week. Very excited.
Damn. Well, look at that.
Is a loop pedal for all things Spark Live. It also works with some of the Yamaha stuff. But
can I just say? I think it's a little bit. What's the word? Well, I don't know if it's like a looper, as in like a button looper, which loops. Which like a loop, a loop station,
like a loop.
or it puts a loop inside the Spark.
No, I think it's I think at this stage, I think it's a looper, as in Ed Sheeran.
Then why has it gone in and out then?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't started messing with it. I think it's an Ed Sheeran looper. I think we'll find out.
Good bit of research. I love it.
Yeah, no work has been done whatsoever.
Nice.
But yeah, a good video, interesting video coming out tomorrow, where I've basically dug out a whole load of small diaphragm pencil condenser mics for drum overheads. So it's one of those things where I go, it's interesting to me. Whether it's interesting to everyone else, I don't know. And quite frankly, at this stage, not that bothered. It's one of those things I wanted to do, and I thought I might as well film it.
Nice. It's an audio. Keith said it's an audio looper, by the way.
It is an audio looper. That's what I thought. I thought it was
no, like an audio in and out.
Oh right, better still.
Yeah. You don't have to sort of come up with how to loop stuff. Yeah, fair enough.
Better still. But it only arrived the other day, and I've just said to the client, I've got it. It's here. I'll get on it next week, which is true. Nice. I've got another video to do next week for three new products that are coming out next week, which is very exciting. And yeah, more of the same at the moment. Cheerleading this weekend, cheerleading next weekend. I'm off to Glasgow next weekend, so that's always messy.
That'd be sunny.
Not really, but it is alcoholic.
Yeah, but it is.
But yeah, should we get on with it?
Let it.
We can talk guitars a bit later on when you.
Oh yes,
that one. And here we go. Boom.
Yeah, Bogey Man. He said, good evening, all. Good evening, Bogey. Jeff, he says, good morning from a chilly Brisbane where the mercury has dipped to 17 degrees. Oh, must be awful for you. It should be a bit warmer when the sun comes out in about an hour. I hope everyone's feeling wondrous. 17 degrees. That'd be nice this time of year for us, wouldn't it?
It was 20 here this afternoon. It was glorious.
Well, it's been pissing down. Oh, you're not getting this. We've got a weather warning at the moment coming in. The whole of the south has just got like from west to east. There's just got a complete weather warning.
It was glorious. I went to the park with my little ones this afternoon, and it was lovely.
Very nice. Thomas Ross. Good afternoon. Afternoon, Thomas. Daniel says, good evening, Rats, from sunny and warm North Carolina. It's always sunny and warm over there. 28 degrees. Whew. Love the new strap. Cheers, Daniel. Phil says, evening sticks and picks. Evening, Phil.
I'll take that.
Keith says, evening all, bear o'clock, methinks. Absolutely, mate.
Indeed.
Get one
Cheers.
down. Yeah, one down. Yeah. Funky Bass, good evening, everyone. Glad to be able to join everyone tonight, and we are glad to have you, Funky. Miguel, he says, hi, guys. I would like to know your opinion on that. Oh, my opinion on an O would be.
Oh, hang on.
What would be your opinion?
There it is.
Ah, okay. What I'd like to know your opinion on the new Simplifier X. It could be my solution to play with really low volumes due to my ear injury. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, any of those things. I think the Simplifier X, the only thing that makes me concerned about the Simplifier X, and I haven't tried one. You've tried one, haven't you? Isn't that distributed by ADG?
I haven't tried one.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong. It might not be. It's all analog. Okay, so there's no IR loading. It's got like an analog speaker.
I know the one I have with the Tiscalis, the Turkish thing.
Maybe I'm thinking of that. Yeah, but the Simplifier X is all analog.
Right.
Yeah, and just just from prior trying these sort of things out, any sort of analog speaker simulator to me always just feels a little bit. But maybe that's
a little bit.
Yeah, but it's but maybe they've sorted it now, so it might be they might be better. I know it's got some rave reviews, so I'd definitely try it out. But also have a look at there's loads of options out there. I mean, there's everything you can think of. Anything from Axe Effects if you want to go top end down to a Mua or one of those things that Lee brought over.
Yeah.
From Amazon that cost about 60 quid. That sounded great. It sounded good for the money. But yeah, I'd like to try one. Unfortunately, they don't send us stuff. Mendel Rocks says evening Mendel Rocks. 25 miles. Is it really 45 miles? Sorry, 45k is. I can't work that out.
Well.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah,
25 miles. Yeah, is that the Exonic?
It is.
Oh yes,
it is.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, it is.
It is. Right, Steve, he's in the house. He says, "Hello, Vermin." Hi, Steve. Richard Paul. Good evening, gents. Evening, Richard. Hope you're doing all right. Al Lindsay, Gear Safari. Up. One and all. Hope all is well. Hope you're all right, Al. Dave, evening all. He says an audio loop, but I think it loops into the USB audio.
It does, yes.
See, if that's the point, then can you move it around?
I will find out, and I will get back to everyone very soon with a video. That's what we do, the craziness that is.
Steve, he says, them's the best videos, in my honest opinion, the ones you need to do for yourself. That's the truth. Yeah, that is true. They are the best videos.
Because it was one of those, I did it because I wanted to know.
What video are we talking about here?
The microphone one, hopefully. The microphone shootout.
Mm.
It's not, it's not every small diaphragm pencil condenser in the world because I couldn't afford all of those. But it's a good selection and a reasonable selection of prices as well. So yeah,
I must have switched off when you said microphone, because I don't remember this conversation at all. Keith says audio as in it records and plays back audio, allows overdubs. Okay, so it is a looper.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's not an audio, it's a loop, it's a loop per pedal, not
it's a
an
looper
audio
pedal, not a looper as in an effects loop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I like a good Ed Sheeran style looper.
Why has it got an in and an out? Maybe it allows for like
maybe
extra effects stuff.
I'll find out. I will do my research. I will come up with an amazingly engaging video, and I will put it out for the masses.
Yes, and then we'll be told that
you've got it wrong.
No. Then we'll be told that our opinion's biased.
Yeah, of course.
Safey, he said, "Good evening." Hi, Safey. Have you ever tried the Wellspring stereo analog spring reverb rack unit from Teaching Machines, made in Wales? Never even heard of it.
Now, interestingly, I've got one of those coming.
Have you?
And trust me, it is the greatest sounding reverb, let alone spring reverb, the best sounding reverb you've ever heard.
No, it's not.
It knocks a Procasti into a cocked hat.
No, it's a spring reverb. It can't do. It can't sound.
This thing sounds amazing.
Yeah, at spring, but it doesn't do like bigger spaces.
I heard it and went, wow. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm looking forward to getting my greasy mitts on it.
Nice stereo. That should be good. Cycling Republic. Cheers. Says, what do you both really think about the IRX and the IRD from Friedman? Love the idea of no screens having amp-like sounds at incredible low volumes. That's the other thing. Something like that. Would you say Tonex leads the way on best low volume guitar rigs? Well, first of all, thanks, Cycling Republic. The IRX I wasn't impressed with. I haven't tried the IRD, but that is way more. That would be way more my sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the IRX is the is the Brown Eye.
Yeah.
And the IRD is the Dirty Shirley.
Yes.
And I imagine, yeah, the IRD will be what, yeah, way more my sort of thing. Would you say Tonex leads the way in best low volume guitar rigs? Well, Tonex leads the cheapest way of capture. It's not the cheapest way of capturing, but a cheap way of capturing your amp and then to use it at a low volume guitar rig. That didn't make any sense, but you know what I'm saying.
It's of the big four, Tonex is by far the cheapest way in.
Yes.
Yes. To get what I would argue.
What do you mean four? Who are the four? Kemper, Quad
Cortex.
Oh, I know the people that you do that you make the MX5.
Yeah.
Headrush,
and Tonex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they can all do amp capture.
Yeah.
But I would say, but Tonex is by far the most accessible. I would say by far the easiest, I think.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think the easiest way of doing it is Quad Cortex.
No, the easiest way to do it is to buy yourself a Tonex One pedal and buy the patches. I'm not talking about capturing amps. I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yes. Yes.
I think Tonex is the way. Yes, hands up. We have a relationship with IK Multimedia, and again, hands up. We get paid for it. So.
And I will say though, I mean, if you've got something like the IRX and the IRD and you like those tones, if you can capture those tones on a capture device, something like Tonex. So yes, that would be. So what you could do if you want to be
cheeky,
unscrupulous and cheeky is to basically go to your local music store or order it online, go and buy an IRX, an IRD, and a Tonex, capture the IRX, capture the IRD, send them both back, and keep the captures on the Tonex. I wouldn't recommend anyone does that, but you could do that.
Yes.
But then you can't go to a gig and go, I just want a little bit more this, I want a little bit more. You can do that, but it's not the same.
No. I'm amazed how much of that you can do on Tonex 1.
Without doubt.
On a MIDI pedal,
Without doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boom.
But thank you, Cycling Republic. Much appreciated. Keith only works with Spark at the moment. No, it doesn't. It works with Yamaha TH.
Yeah. Yes.
TH range as well.
And a few others coming shortly.
Yeah. Nabs, hello, rats and followers. Hopes all is well. Cheers. Cheers, Nabs. Yes, mate. Hope you're well too. Chris, evening, chaps, and everybody. Evening, Chris. Jeff, a Tonex pedal, not the one, should arrive in the next day or so. Will it be okay to plug it using amp captures into the front of a clean amp, or should I only plug into the effects return? I would plug into, actually, well, try both. I would try it into the effects return.
But if your amp is a combo and has speakers, do make sure you turn off the speaker emulation inside the Tonex pedal. Both Tonex pedal and Tonex 1 can do this.
Yes.
Otherwise, it sounds really weird.
Well, it would just sound very dark. Mississippi, evening, the studio rats and all. Thoughts on the new Strymon £700 reverb? We'll talk about that later on, actually. I've got it in the news.
Yep, lovely.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that a bit in a minute. Digger 47, will an amplified nation steel string singer Tonex capture be coming down the pike? If I had the steel string singer, yes, it would. I'd like the steel string singer. So at the moment, no. I would like one though. Never say never.
It's the ultimate clean, isn't it?
Well, the Amp Nation one does more than that.
Right.
It does way more than the standard sort of steel string singer, because the steel string singer was originally, the Dumble amp was originally designed for
amp steel and pedal steel.
Steel. It was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I seem to remember that. Is it Mark Franklin or Mark Franklin? Isn't it the guy who played for Dire Straits? Amazing pedal steel player who played for Dire Straits. Had a Dumble on stage.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But
I didn't like Dire Straits when they had all that pedal steel over. I don't like the sound of too much short country down. That twangy pedal.
I really liked the On Every Street album where they had all that extra stuff in it. I really liked that album. Yeah, I
really like it when it's done without all the bends. I really like the sound of the sort of the chordal work and all that, but I don't like the bends.
In the live album, he does a solo on Walk of Life, and genuinely, my brain can't work out how it works, how he can do it. It's mind blowing, that stuff.
It is an amazing thing. It's if you can play one, it's amazing. Al, he says, looking forward to your drum overhead video, James. Intrigued.
Solidarity, brother.
Rockabilly 12. Hi guys, is the Tonex much harder to understand than the Helix? I'm not going to profile any amps. No, definitely not. The Helix is way, way, way more. But you can do so much more with the Helix. Don't think Tonex is like the Helix. Tonex doesn't have all the effects that Helix has got. Personally, what I would do, I would get a Tonex and plug it into the Helix.
Yeah.
And then you can use all the effects from the Helix. Tonex has compression, noise gate, and reverb, but that's it. And EQ, obviously, but yeah, you can't do all of the other stuff that Helix can do. Steve says TSR 199, exciting times. What's the 200 plans? I think Lee's coming over.
I'm gonna see if I can get Greg over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lee's going to join in. Paul McKinnon, fitness and nutrition. He says, hello, gents. Have you seen the Relic? Oh, yeah. Have you seen the Relic PRS Silver Sky SRV? Looks utterly incredible, as I suspect will be the price. And it gets the likes up, people. And let's get the likes up, people. Yeah, sorry. So Paul's right. Yeah, give us a like if you can. It really, really does help. I thought that's not a PRS. That's someone's done that. It's not PRS from the factory. I'm pretty sure someone's altered a PRS to make it look like an SRV. It looks a bit weird to me
because I didn't think Paul Reed Smith would ever do Relic guitars because they're not shiny and lovely and
exactly, yeah. Which is one of my problems with PRS. I just find it annoying that a guy. Oh, sorry, hold on. I've got my camera flaps hanging out. No euphemism.
Filth.
I find it amazing that, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's, you know, the owner of the company, as opposed to doing what people want or what some people want, he goes, no, I'm not going to do that. So he doesn't give people what they want because he doesn't like it himself. And maybe that's right.
I mean, you could say I don't agree with his business model, but he's making a couple of quid, isn't he?
Oh my God, he's a very wealthy man,
and making a great product. So maybe he is.
Yeah,
sticking to his guns. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they do. And I think they do really well out of it, because I think it will stop the people who buy PRSs are people that put it on the wall and
look at it
and look at it, because no one dares takes it out, because the second-hand price of a damaged PRS, we say damaged loosely, but a chipped PRS is massively different to a pristine PRS.
It bombs, yeah.
It bombs.
I've only ever owned one PRS.
And it's good. That was a good guitar.
It was a great guitar, but it just sat on the wall. Looking at that's not through not wanting to play it. It's just that I didn't ever play it.
No, that Hollow Body 2 that I had, that was a fantastic guitar. Keith, the X-Sonic Looper uses USB audio in and out on the Spark like you would use an effects loop. Hold on, that's just contradicted what we said before, wasn't it?
We'll have a look. I'll work it out.
Okay.
I'm quite clever. I can work it out.
Okay. Awesome. Cheers, Keith. Andy Chettelberg.
Yeah, Chettelberg.
Hi, guys. Hi, Andy. Hope you're well.
He says,
Tonex 1 or Boss IR2, both very different things.
Yes.
So both great. If you're going to, put my hand behind my back, I would say Tonex, because I think it's more versatile, because you can load, loads of different amps on it and stuff. But, Lee, for instance, I lent Lee my Tonex 1 pedal, and Lee doesn't like it. Lee prefers the IR2. So, and talking of the devil.
Indeed.
Here he is. He says, "What chaps? Is there a box thing that I can get that can go between my guitar pedals and my interface to warm it up, make it better, inspire me a bit more? Just feeling meh about my sound." What you need to do is to get an amp. That's the box thing that can go in between your guitar. Well,
in between your guitar and your speaker. It's called a valve amp.
I'd love to get Lee into amps. Lee loves so just to give everyone his everyone sort of Lee's backstory. Lee likes Lee's band. When Lee plays in the bands, he goes DIs into the PA, and always does it that way. And to me, things change. I used to do that all the time, and things change once you get an amp. Playing changes.
Mm. You get air movement from another speaker affects the way you play. Always.
And you get full dynamics. You get you get way more dynamics playing through an amp than you do playing through a modular and stuff, because it's just the like you can play. I think that's the thing about modelers and stuff. It tends to sound good once you crank up the gain, and there's no dynamics there. It's just all like that. There's nothing. If you play lightly, it's the same note. It's the same basically velocity as when you play quietly or loudly. It's the same. When you get an amp,
Spark is really guilty of that.
Yeah, Spark's really bad at that. Spark's really bad at that.
If you're going full tilt, it sounds great, but if you back up and expect it to act like a valve amp would, it don't do it.
But I think that's the thing about valve amps. I think it teaches you to play soft, quietly, and it just gets your dynamics, up there.
Yeah.
So I'm being really, I can hardly my brain and my mouth are just doing different things today. Stefan, he says, hi guys, are you going to make a Kemper pack of the Amplified Nation Ampliphonics? Cheers from Quebec, Canada. No, I haven't got. Well, one thing, I haven't got the Ampliphonics and Gain anymore, and I haven't got a Kemper, so I'm afraid not, Stefan.
But I should get a Kemper.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should get a Kemper. But personally, I don't think the Ampliphonics and Gain isn't as good as the Wonderland Overdrive. I think the Wonderland Overdrive does way more than the Ampliphonics and Gain.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. Richard said we had a Boss Artist Mark II combo arrive today at the shop. What an amp! Yeah, good, aren't they? I've got the head actually in my rack down there. I've got the artist head.
Great amp
in my rack. Yes, it's good. Mark J.W. Graham. He said, "Evening, gents. At topic for today, as I just purchased a used Victory V4 Duchess pedal. I'm looking forward to seeing how it sounds and feels. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Just because Paul never actually knows about the subject, I just steer the conversation that way. Talking about modelers and amps and amp-based pedals and amps in pedals and all that sort of stuff, which we are doing.
Yeah, you do that. You put like a sort of subject in the thing.
Yeah,
and we never talk about it.
And sometimes we do talk about it, and sometimes we don't. I generally try and steer the subject that way, which we've done perfectly adequately today. We're doing quite a nice job of that. So, yeah.
I think we need to go back to Lee's question as well. I think we need to sort of find something, because I think you and me are being get an amp, but Lee doesn't use an amp, so we've got to think about what Lee.
I think the answer is coming next.
Is it okay? Lee, a preamp. As a bass player, primarily, I have a few lying around.
You can get such things, a preamp pedal, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I say most, loads of drive pedals are preamps, are basically preamps. But Lee's tried that. Lee's had an IRX, the Friedman IRX. Yeah. To me, I think I know where Lee's going with this, huh?
Didn't you have it for about a week and a half?
Yeah. That's a good thing about Lee. He tries everything. So where was I talking about? Yeah. I think Lee's trying to talk himself out of buying a quad Cortex.
No, Lee won't spend that sort of money.
He will, mate. He bought that nice guitar. He will spend money.
There'll be a Chinese knockoff version.
No, Lee's the richest man in Prague. Lee is definitely the richest man in Prague. Keith, he says, I do hope it works with the Yami THR. they don't advertise that as yet. They gave my Spark 40 away and bought THR10. Yes. The information they sent us, it works with the THR.
Yes. Yep.
I love the way we read that. We didn't actually realize we didn't read what it actually does. Richard, your view on borrowing amps to capture is a worrying thought for us retailers in the future, but it's crossed my mind that it might happen. Yeah, I mean, there must be. It is a worry, isn't it? It is a worry.
I mean, we're the two of us have had the discussion. If we borrow amps from somebody else, do we cut them in? You know, because we make money out of capture packs. What do we do? Do we just keep quiet and say, "Oh no, we didn't do it"? We'll put that capture pack over there. You know,
no,
it's difficult. It's no, of course you can't. But it's very grey.
Yeah. I've had people offered to capture amps for me to sell on the studio, you know, with the Studio Rats packs. I'm just like, no, because it just gets messy.
Yeah,
just too messy.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult enough for the two of us, let alone anybody else.
Keith says my PRS single cut S2 is relicing gradually because the satin nitro is so thin. Oh, great! See, I hope they've done that properly, because what PRS do, they basically put a poly coat over the guitar, and then they put nitro over the top of that. Absolutely pointless. It's pointless. Why would they do that?
That's mad.
It's pointless. Yeah, well, they have done some. They've done they have done some versions of the C24, which was basically a just a thin nitro finish. So yeah, I'm wondering if Keith's S2 is like that as well.
All right.
Yeah, bizarre. Such a bizarre thing. I honestly don't know. Ned, good evening. I've got nothing to say. Just enjoying the talk. Have a good one. Cheers, Ned. Good to have you along. Cycling Republic. Thanks for the answer, Paul. Do you use your real amps through your monitors when practicing, or do you actually use your cabs? Thanks, chaps. A bit of both, actually. So I've got that set up at the moment. It is different. It's different plugging into an amp, and most of the time though, it's probably through monitors.
Whereas I nearly always have an actual speaker somewhere in the room, an actual guitar speaker. It might be the Grossman,
right? Yeah,
but you know, that at least feels like a real speaker.
Nice. Jeff, I'm interested in the Tonex ODS Legends pack. It had a special introductory price of free with the Tonex pedal, but now it's so expensive that I might as well buy a Dumble.
Well, they've got to pay for the Dumble that they bought, haven't they?
I think that was Joe Bonamassa's Dumble. I think that was a Joe Bonamassa one they did. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the price of it is. Yeah.
I still swear by the fact that the captures that I've heard that either come with or that you can buy extra, I don't think sound as good as our ones. But I'm quite biased on that front.
That is why I shut up quick.
Yeah,
I think it just looks like we're just trying to promote our own stuff. Keith, regarding responsiveness of modelers, that's the one reason I gave my Spark away. The THR is so much better. I actually think the Boss stuff's pretty good, even the older GTs. Yeah, the Spark is pretty shocking when it comes to dynamics.
But there's a video coming where Paul and I came over last week, or Paul came to mine last week, week before, whenever it was, and we played
that all for Bon Jovi.
We played through the Spark live at full tilt, didn't we?
Yes,
and it kind of worked.
And it was yes, it was yes, had no headroom. Nope. Had absolutely no headroom. It was just like just straight down.
But we had the track, we had the bass, we had the track playing through it, we had you playing through it,
yeah,
and I could hear it, and you could hear yourself, and yeah,
Yeah.
It was an interesting experiment.
Yeah. Looks like we've got a couple of questions about the electric lightning pedal. So Thorpy and Chris Buck have done a collab with the pedal. I thought, Chris Buck sounds great. It sound great through anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing a review on it. I mean, I might buy one at some point, but I don't think I'll be an early adopter. I mean, I think he'll do really well out of it. It sounded great. Chris Buck always sounds great. Yeah, but it does look really good. So Quincy says, how do you guys feel about the new Chris Buck electric lighting pedal? Yeah, excited about it. I think it's great. It's really good that Thorpy's putting valves in his pedals and stuff. The only thing is it's a 12 volts, so you're gonna have to, if you haven't got a 12 volt output on your power supply. I'm not sure I have. Yes, I have.
Mine has, yeah.
No, yeah, but no, it's 700 milliamps.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot then.
Yeah. So it's going to be quite tricky to power unless you've got the power supply.
Mm-hmm.
It takes So
how many PP3s is that?
But I mean, I think it looks great. It sounds great. They're both geniuses, so why wouldn't it sound great? Lee says funky bass. Yeah, I was thinking some kind of preamp or mic pre. Maybe it won't make any difference though, as an amp is the way forward, as the lads say. I'm purely talking studio. I'm always okay gigging. You're doing the studio.
Yeah, because there are so many other factors that affect you when it's live. Serious hi-fi goes out the window, even with decent in-ears or whatever. There are so many other factors involved with live. Whereas in the studio, you're listening to it and it's coming out of there.
Oh, I see. So Lee wants some sort of preamp or mic pre. I don't think you're going to get any benefit from the gear that you've got doing that, though. I think Lee just needs to, because Lee was going to borrow the Core Cortex for a weekend and see if he gets on with that.
Yeah, I think that will be the beginning of the end, won't it, for Lee?
That and Axe Effects.
Yeah,
which is even more money, but it's the Axe Effects is amazing.
I was always really pleased with how good your sound was live with the Axe Effects.
It's a really good unit. Really good unit. Lim, hi guys. Recently bought the Tonex 1 and purchased the TSR Amplified Nation ODR to go with it this morning. Nice one. Can't wait to try it out. Nice.
You'll enjoy that.
Cheers, Lim.
Boom. There we go.
Keith, Lee, do you have an EQ you can use to selectively push the front of the amp? So Lee doesn't use an amp. He uses he's just bought an IR200 and he's got an IR2 and he's got those sort of modular devices, which I wouldn't recommend pushing an EQ in the front of, because you don't want to clip the front of the unit. Mike Blue, I've gigged the Katana a few times now. Whatever they did in there, it works. Good dynamics, takes pedals, no digital hack. I like it. Thought it was a toy at first. Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Really good,
especially for the money. Absolutely brilliant. Anthony, he says Axe Effects in traditional small venues, i.e. not through a PA and only using backline. I put it into a Freyet power station and real cab, no cab sims. Dynamically, it's not far from a real amp. Nice. Yeah, the Axe Effects is great. The Axe Effect, I've only tried the Axe Effects. No, I've tried an FM3 and the Axe Effects 3. Yeah, I had the and I owned the Axe Effects 3, and I was really, really impressed with that. Keith, regarding capture pedals, I hear a company called Dimehead have got a new neural amp modeler coming out in pedal form, although it's almost as expensive as a Mod Dwarf, which has an amp built in. Yeah, I've seen that, and I think it's only mono out as well. There's loads of
shame.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah. I'm not interested in buying it. At Lee, Legends pack is £100. Oh, that's all right.
It's not so bad, is it?
No. Yeah, you're right. They've got to make the money back on there.
And Mr. Bonamassa has probably put a licensing fee on that, and
probably has. Yeah. I'm late, but I'm glad I'm late. But I'm glad I caught you guys. Cheers, fellas. Cheers, Ben. Anthony Maplethorpe, he says, I'm a military aircraft fanatic. My favourite fighter of all time be the English Electric Lightning. I need that Thorpy pedal just for the graphics of. Yeah, the Lightning. What an awesome.
One of the sounds that I remember. There are two sounds from aircraft I remember as a kid going to.
I know what you're going to say.
The electric Lightning, and the Avro Vulcan.
The Vulcan is just that. We had one of them. We had a local air show in Dunsfold near where I used to live, and we used to sit in the park in Cranley, and on the he dipped down into the park and just did that, and it was just like, oh, it's amazing.
Those two, I remember the Electric Lightning being the loudest thing 7-year-old me had ever heard.
Yeah.
Just going, wow.
Yeah.
And then, if you used to drive, I don't know if you're Anthony, if you're from the UK, if you used to drive up the A1 between Newark.
Oh yeah, there's one up there, isn't there?
There's one on the side of the road. Very bizarre. Yeah. Or if you drive,
wasn't the front chopped off, or the front that the little point nozzle broke?
All spray paint, it's all graffitied up and looked a bit of a mess. But there was one before Jeremy Clarkson bought his farm, he had one on his front drive.
Did he?
Yeah.
Awesome. Keith says, Anthony, did you comment on the Andertons vid? Anthony also said, repowering it. I use a Chox DC7 and DC4. I can use two outputs in parallel to get 1,000 milliamps at 12 volts. Nice.
Quite clever. Yeah.
Quite a lot of money in power outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big investment just on that for that pedal. Duncan, good evening, gents. Evening, Duncan. And Dave Orr says, by the way, please push the. Yeah, give us a thumbs up, guys. It really, really does help. Thumbs up and likes, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, those chocks do look good, Keith. Yeah, you're right. I think they're a really good option. If you're not really invested in power supplies, pedals, multiple out power supplies, then yes, probably chocks is probably the best option. But they ain't cheap. Quincy, curious about your take on how much guitar speaker changes your overall tone. I changed my cab from stock V30s to a pair of one 1970 Blackback and a 1980s Marshall V30. Changed well. Oh yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, speakers are the biggest actual overall change you can make,
without doubt, without a doubt. Simo, he says, my favorite snog cheap gear guitarist. How you doing, lads? Hi, cheap. Hi, Simo. All good.
Hey.
Chaz, he says, greetings, the studio bats and all. Apologies for my tardiness. I had a mastering gig. Just finish up, Chaz. Cheers, Chaz. Hope it went well. Max is a bit late, but he was fiddling on guitar. Richard, I hope you mentioned the new Jovi track. What a pile of turd. Them being a huge part of my youth. The new documentary on Disney Plus is worth a watch. I haven't heard the new Jovi. Oh, I might have done.
I've heard it, and
is it auto-tuned to death? Is it that? I've definitely heard one that's been auto-tuned to.
My Bon Jovi meter is my wife, because she is the ultimate Bon Jovi fan, and she just screwed her face up and went, "That's not Bon Jovi." And I went, oh.
It's a video. Is Phil X in the video? Is it a band playing?
I think so. I
have seen it. Yeah. It's a bit cheesy, isn't it? Anthony said 4 Vulcan scramble from Waddington, vertical after 100 meters, and so ground shaking.
That's a hell of a noise.
That is a noise, isn't it?
That's the 2 greatest sounding aircraft. Short of, because we've got Duxford just up the road from us.
Yeah.
We get Spitfires over all the time, and that Merlin engine is an amazing noise. I mean, you must get them where you are because they do the South Coast run.
We didn't hear. We've only been here a year, but I didn't hear him last year.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Bournemouth Air Show.
Bournemouth's great.
Max, the Lightning could generally climb vertically at something daft like 20,000 feet a minute. Dang.
Great noise.
Vertically. Dang. I pass that Lightning most days with work lot. I'm in Nottingham and I'm a field engineer.
That's hilarious. That used to be so funny.
Timo, I'm curious about the Blue Guitar X coming out this year. I think it would cost 2K. Yeah. Yeah,
it's
I did.
Very quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, but he does that. I think he must be doing all right because he could afford to have a stall at NAMM. So I haven't heard from him since NAMM, and that video did really well. It did like 150,000 views.
I'm still amazed.
Made my NAMM trip worth doing.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that.
Have a look.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. I totally get you want the product to be absolutely perfect. But eventually, like a movie or an album, you just have to abandon the thing. Surely to goodness.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but it's something that people want, and it's brilliant. It sounded absolutely.
But it sounded absolutely brilliant. So get the thing out there.
Oh, I see. You think
get it out there and do a firmware update. That's what firmware updates are for. Get it out there in the real world. Start selling the thing. Start recouping, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's done 150,000 views that vid. So that pays my NAMM trip. Yeah. No, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. You're young. I have an elderly Roland Cube 15, cost me 50 squids. I think it still holds up against the THR Sparks Hotones Boss Tabletop practice offerings of late. Nice.
I bet it does.
Regarding chocks, I've done a few boards with the Temple audio system, and they have a chocks option. Nice. Mendel, question for Lee. Which and when was your last valve amp? Digital tech today is fantastic, but there's nothing like hot valves to heat up your home studio. It's true, actually. I accidentally left because this amp here, my light has gone.
Right.
Bulb has gone on the light, so I forget that it's on. I came in after being out for a couple of hours, and the room was hot.
Now this is funny.
Oh, that's a beauty.
No, what's better is where's Kev?
Where's Kev? Yeah, where is Kev?
Oh dear.
Dave, looking good, Dave. Looking good. You look a little bit more crack addict, I'd say, or a meth addict today.
Gran addict, more like. We should say that Chris, our contact at IK Multimedia, offered to come on the show and explain exactly what a sponsored content means from a brand point of view and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's still something we should do, but I think we let the heat go out of the fire a little bit first before we do that. Because Chris is a great guy to have on. He's a great hang, and he's a really nice guy. We had a great laugh at NAMM with him. And I think he'd be good to get on the show.
Yeah.
But let's let the heat of that discussion die down a little bit first.
Hey, did you get my stupid comment of the week?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I need to. Oh, that's the point.
Have you got it? Yeah, you haven't got that sorted, have you?
It takes me seconds.
Okay. Keith says Max Hodges fiddle and guitar, Jimmy P. Styley. Jimmy P.
Page.
As long as it's not Jimmy Page style. I don't know. It must be Jimmy Page style. Yeah, David, you don't want to know what my Bon Jovi meter is. Hey, for that video James was talking about, we did what's that Bon Jovi tune? Living on a Prayer.
Yeah,
we did that.
And you forgot the key change.
All right. Key change. Who needs that? Mendel Rocks. Tonex QC video was interesting. I like the thicker low end on the QC and retain the high end on the Tonex. Nice. Phil, Spitfires daily here in Bracklesham from Goodwood Airdrome. Ah, nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
It's a very distinct noise.
Max Logkeith actually typed whittling. Got autocorrect censored. Well, I'm not sure whittling or fiddling is. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Keith, Stuart Young, I have a Cube 20 somewhere. It's a bit limited compared to the THR, but the sounds you can get are decent.
My first band used to go out with a PA, which was 2 Roland keyboard cubes. That was our PA.
Wow. Ryan, what do you guys recommend on the acoustic side for $1,000 at £800?
Faith.
I'm not really up on. Aaron would be good for that. If Aaron's about, Aaron would know.
A Faith.
What's that?
Faith would have been my shout.
I was going to say Faith. Funny enough, yeah, I would say Faith. I think because they're well made, aren't they?
They're Patrick James Eggle.
Yeah, well, they're Eggle designed.
Yes,
I think they're made in the Far East, but I think they're supposed to be very good.
They are amazing. I was talking to them a long time ago about a deal to do some videos for them because I wanted a 12-string from them. Their 12-string was amazing, and it never really happened just because. But I tried their guitars at one of the guitar shows one year and went, these feel and sound amazing. So for not that much,
really
great guitar.
Yeah, good shout. Lee says a Mendel, a Victory Countess, lovely amp that I used for maybe 2 years. Had to move to silent stage. Paul would recommend an attenuator. That never crossed my mind at the time. Yeah, I definitely recommend. I mean, I'd always, if you can take an amp out and then an attenuator, and then you get the full dynamics of the amp and
an
attenuator. Poo Ninja. Cats love a hot tube amp for napping. They sure do.
My cat, I used to have I made a mistake once of putting a 15-inch bass driver cone up in the corner of a room to store it one day, and my cat curled up in the cone. Someone said, "Oh, it's the magnetic field," and I went, "Fine." The cat would sleep in a speaker.
Wow. I would say it's probably more to do with the shape of it, and they can just, they like a bit of a barrier, don't they?
Probably, yeah. But
Jeff says, would I keep speaker emulation on if I plug the Tonex into the effects return of a modeling amp, e.g. a Mustang GTX? It depends if the modeling amp had a full range flat response speaker. So the ones you're listing, I don't think have. The Katana definitely doesn't.
No.
The Mustang GTX, I don't know.
If you're plugging it into a PA, then leave cab emulation on. If you're plugging it into a guitar amp, turn it off. General rule. Very very sweeping statement, but you know what
I mean. Keith said, Paul, you should stick a fan in front of that amp, turn it into a fan heater. That's a good move.
Great coming into summer.
Max says, Paul, it's a reference to Jimmy Page using a violin bow and a Telecast. You see, it's too much. It's too highbrow for me. Too highbrow. Goes right over my head. Fellas, I was teaching some Jamiroquai earlier and was looking at some live footage. JK has fair piled on the beef in recent times. Has he? I haven't really seen recently.
He speaks very highly of Paul as well.
Yeah. Carl, I'm curious with the amp modeler pedals you've been showing recently, Tonex. Is there any latency with them? There's latency with every digital device. It's whether you can feel it is the question. Tonex, I mean, can you feel it?
I can't.
If you plugged into anything, if you plugged into a modeler, you'd be like, oh, this feels good, this feels good, this was really good. Then unplug that lead, plug it straight into an amp. You go, okay, that feels different. It is the tiniest thing, and you adapt to it really, really quickly. So
but anywhere where there is an analog to digital conversion, there is latency by the very nature of the conversion.
And on any sort of digital thing like that, it's analog to digital, and then digital back to analog as well. So there's this, but latency. It's so fast now, you don't really notice it. But because it's our fingers and a pick, it's very apparent to a guitar player that to some guitar players.
Drums as well, electric drums is really really obvious because obviously you get bah.
Oh no, you don't.
No,
it's not.
No. It used to be. It used
right.
to, and if you whack your buffer size up, you can get it to bah.
Oh, really, of course, yeah.
But modern computers now and modern systems now, it's not. I mean, the first time I ever tried using a digital system was for a big gig on a big festival stage, and they wanted it to be to trigger the original samples from the songs, and I went, okay, but you're going to have to run the click track about a quarter of a beat ahead for me to be in time, for you to be in time with the drums, because the latency was so bad. If I just played to the click track, it'd have been fine, but they couldn't have two click tracks running out of time with each other. It was so bad.
It's very different, especially if you've got an electric kit, something like that, and you're in a big venue where like you're hearing the sound like way away from you, like, and and then you've got no visual, or you've got no feedback from that drum being hit that you're immediately getting.
The worst thing I've ever done as a drummer is been, for some reason, watching the screens on a big gig, and then the screen cuts to me, and then all of a sudden it's all wrong because what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing are completely different.
Don't look at the screen. Keith said, Paige, you famously used a violin bow on his guitar. Yes. Faith are pretty good for that budget. There we go. So Max agrees. Nice one, Max. Keith, second to Faith. Good things about Deweeners too, if you're in the UK and near the Midlands. Richard's Guitars. There we go. Nice. Birch, good. Firk are good to Birch. I can't remember how.
I thought it was Birch, but I could be wrong.
They're expensive. They're not. You're not talking $800 for a Birch.
No, you're right. $8,000 for a Birch.
You're talking a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's that much, but it's not. Yeah. Cats will sleep in any hollow shape. How do you connect external pedals to the Tonex guitar overdrive input, Tonex out, Tonex to delay to reverb, and the out the reverb to the mix audio? Exactly. You've got it exactly right. So overdrive into Tonex and out of Tonex to delay and reverb. I mean, Tonex has got reverb built in, so you don't really need to do that. But exactly as you say. Yep. Keith said, worst I had is my cat caught a mouse and brought it into the house, and then it ran into the bass port of my home theatre speaker. Oh no! Oh no!
my dad's cat brought a pigeon in one day and then proceeded to disembowel the pigeon all over the hallway.
Nice.
And they were on holiday, so guess who was left to clean it up?
Oh no. Mendel, nice one. Lee, I also had the Victory V30 for a few years, quite portable at the time. Now at home running valve amps into the power station and running gig performer. Excuse me, for IRs and post effects. Nice.
Very nice. Hang on, sorry.
A Digitech Whammy is terrible for latency. Yeah, it's quite an old, that's a bit of an old unit, isn't it? But yes, I remember I've heard that before. Miguel, thanks for your opinion about the Simplifier X. I'm looking for an option to play in silence and a stereo with a Fender Bassman 59 and Box AC30 62. This is my digital sound, but I prefer analog things. Nice. Yeah.
Why not? Why not
stereo?
Why not I suppose it's stereo, isn't it? It's the stereo thing.
I can't understand how he's going to play a Bassman 59 and a Vox AC30 in silence.
Well, he's not. But if he had something like 2 Oxes,
that
could work.
Yeah, I think you've got nice old amps like that. Mind you, would you want to put those old amps into an attenuator?
Probably not.
Amps like that don't like being attenuated. I tend to find. Keith, although sound travels around 1 millisecond per foot, so if you're 5 foot away from your amp, that's 5 milliseconds. Yes, but it is different. It's very different.
It's amazing how physics goes away when you forget about it.
Yeah. Phil, I heard that Max Guitars in London have sold 2 Kim Walker acoustics at 32,000 each going to the US. Wow. Oof. That's some money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Bogeyman, any experience with using a modeler and an FR speaker? Excuse me. Like it in a traditional guitar amp setup, not on a PA. I'm curious how it would sound set up your eyes. Yeah. So
I've done it loads of times. It's fine.
I've done it loads of times. I've had loads of different FR speakers and modelers, and it was great in at home. Worked really, really well. Live didn't work as well, I don't think.
I had a pair of Mackie SRM 450s, which I used to use as my wedges.
Nice.
And that was my guitar sound as well. Nice. So great. Loved it.
There you go. Nice. Joe Pagey.
Yo, Pagey.
Keith, as an aside, if you want latency, you can't get much worse than a bell ringing. The bell rings over a second after you start pulling the rope.
Yes, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a really interesting thought, actually. Electric Galworks. Haven't played the Faith yet, but I've had great luck with my Yamaha and Martins for recording. Martins, I guess Martin do cheap. They do an import Martin, don't they?
Yeah.
Furch G40 CM is just over 800 quid. Well, there we go.
Okay.
Nice. Roberto, he said, hi, ever tried Moore Baby Bomb with a real cab from Modeler or else? I like the Tonex. I understand you guys like it very much. I didn't try it yet. I haven't tried the Moore Baby Bomb. It's got a nice flying B though. Nice. Yes, sorry, haven't tried that. Moore have not sent over anything. Max, Captor X, yep. Absolutely. To play in silence and get faux stereo with doubling. There we go.
Shall we do the news?
Yeah, should we do the news?
Right.
There's not a lot of news.
Before we do the news, show us the new weapon.
Oh yeah, you'll see the new guitar. It's a very differing opinions.
I mean, it looks like someone's taken an angle grinder to it, to be honest.
It's not. No, it's not. It's only paint. It's only,
Greg's words, not mine.
Yeah, no. It's only the paint and stuff. But it's funny enough. The weird thing is that I looked at the Traveller, which is the spec sheet that you basically get when you buy a custom shop. And it says about all the specs and who ordered it and stuff. And it was ordered by Matt Knight from Boss, who's my contact at Boss. Lovely Matt Knight. So so he spec'd it for GAK. So it's originally a GAK guitar. But Matt loves pink guitars, so it's black over pink, over shell pink. So
you genuinely have bought something from GAK?
Yeah. So no, it's a really, really good guitar. But I've changed all the pickups. All the pickups have now been changed. So I've got a cream tea pickup in the bridge. and I've got 2 Sunbear pickups.
Nice.
In the neck and the middle.
I look forward to playing that when I next pop over.
It's a really good guitar. Really good guitar. And I don't mind knocking it about because it's
already been knocked about.
It's been smacked about. Right. Where are we? Share screen, entire screen. That one. Right. Okay, so Friedman IRD, Dirty Shirley, and Twin Sister. Well, technically, that's a bit because the Twin Sister is 2 Dirty Shirleys.
Yeah, it is 2 dirty. It's 2 identical channels.
Yeah, so it's not Dirty Shirley and Twin Sister. No, it's
a Twin Sister, or it's 2 Dirty Shirleys.
Guitar and gear news need to sort themselves out. That's a bad oversight. Yeah. So it's basically the IRX, but the Dirty Shirley circuit. So much lower gain, much more sort of plexi or JTM sort of tones out of it, which I definitely prefer. But yeah,
I watched the Sweet video of his usual super slick self.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a great thing! Loads of options. I like the fact you can have different IRs in the 2 channels.
Can you?
Yes.
That's good.
Mm.
Yeah, nice. Really, I mean, absolutely great.
How much?
That's a good question. They are £518. Not cheap.
No, but two really good valve channels is yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I wonder how much the Dirty Shirley in the Synergy costs. That's basically what it is.
Well, all Synergy modules are 380.
380, okay.
Or thereabouts.
Yeah, so more than that. Okay. What's this? Oh yeah, I've seen this. Look at this. The Meth Stang. Such a great title. Meth Stang. It said the most heavily trashed vintage Mustang we've ever seen has been miraculously restored. But I wouldn't really call that
restored. I'd call that.
I would call that
made playable.
Yeah, that looks like my new guitar, though, doesn't it? It's got that sort of.
Looks like someone's already eaten it.
Yeah, the Meth Stang. I like that. So we've seen that Strymon Big Sky MX, which is the new Strymon. 700 quid. So
it's a lot of dough for a reverb.
It's a lot of dough for a reverb.
I mean, it's a hell of a reverb.
Yeah, I mean that's basically, if you think how good those reverbs would be and how much that would have been in a rack unit back in the day.
Yes.
So 700. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of money. But
yeah, it is a lot of money. But I wouldn't say it was. How much is an H90?
No, that's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of thing.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of thing. And lastly, I thought you'd like this.
A 6 and a 12 Dan Electro. It's funny, actually. I dug the Dan Electro out recently for a video, and I forgot how brilliant that guitar was. And then I watched our video with it, and you basically said, "This is brilliant. I love this guitar," and it's like 100 quid.
It's a brilliant. No, it's more than 100 quid.
It's 110 quid.
Yeah, mate. Is that what you paid for it? That's such a great guitar for that. Yeah, $1,099 for that. Really cool. The only thing I think about double necks and 12 strings and especially double necks is that you change the strings on it once and then you just put up with it and you just go, oh, the strings need changing on the 12 string, but I'll just so there's that. Anyway, I'm coming back.
Okie dokie.
There we go.
Right. Boom. Let's crack on. Let's get it on.
Patois says, Paul, when I watch you play, you sound also. Oh, thank you. He said, "I'm a level I never reach." That is not true at all. I'm sure you could easily. Here is a question. I had a chat with my dad about how Cliffs of Dover is a virtuoso piece. Can you nail it? No, I cannot nail it. But I've never learnt it as such. I sort of fudge my way around the intro. I mean, anyone can play anything. That's the thing. So the great thing about guitar is with work, anyone can play anything. The genius comes with
creating that stuff.
From creating that, exactly. So there's loads of guitar players that, you know, go into any music shop on a Saturday and hear a you know, a kid whittling away playing something, ask him to do a solo over something. It's a very different story.
Yeah.
People often judge their own ability by how well they can copy something.
Yeah, as opposed to the genius is in the creation.
And Eric Johnson is an absolute genius. So yes, I think you can over time you could definitely nail Cliffs of Dover and learn from it as well. I think it's a great, be a great thing. I love that. The first bend that he pushes that you won't hear it because we get such bad audio over, but he goes and he pushes that E note more than a it's over that he goes, and it's just over that note, and it's brilliant. It just sounds so good. He's a
musical player.
He's
the ultimate taste and fingers, in my opinion.
He's so good. Ben, I've got a used Birch Violet. It's their cheapest acoustic. I paid around 800 Canadian for it. Now they're around £1,000. Amazing sounding guitar for the price. Nice. I always thought those Birches were really expensive. There we go. David. He said, so do you buy 2 Tonex ones or run dual amps if you're really cool? Well, you could buy 2 Tonex ones and then have an amp and then a pedal, a bunch of pedals in the other one.
Yeah. The 2 Tonex ones thing, I like the idea of having a stomp box Tonex one and an amp sim Tonex one. I like that idea a lot.
So explain that again. Sorry, say that again.
You have 2 Tonex one pedals in series. You have one that is being a stomp box.
Yeah, exactly.
And then one that is being an amp sim.
Yeah,
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
For under 400 quid for an amazing amp modeler and an amazing pedal modeler that both could get you out of jail infinite numbers of times. Your bass player's amp dies, you just go, oh well, here you go, here's your bass amp.
Yeah, I agree. It's brilliant. Keith says Richards has a Violet for £834. Nice. Miguel, one more thing. I don't know if the studio have this amps, but if you have a good Fender amp like a Bassman 59, a good Vox AC30, try to play them in stereo. You're welcome. Oh, nice.
Well,
I'd like to.
I've got a Vox and I've got a Twin.
That'll do. Put them in stereo.
Yeah, I can do that.
You can do that.
I'll use the TC chorus as my stereo splitter. Nice. That'd be awesome.
And got hold of a used Martin 0000028 for £1,000 a year back. It's only acoustic, but sounds great. I think it's a bit of a steal though. That's a good price.
Yeah.
Ben, Keith, highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed. I tell you what, if they're talking amongst themselves,
just crack on. Yeah, totally.
Steve said your Strat sounded absolutely killer on your demo vid. Cheers, Steve. It's a really good sounding guitar, that, even though I've changed all the pickups in it. But Max, I want to put my own dents and wear on a guitar. Yeah, absolutely. I personally, I like just buying a Relic. I have a J45, which are epic, but I seem to play the Violet more. Nice. says Ben. Keith, I've been out of the country for the last 2 years and haven't touched an acoustic in that time. Yeah, I haven't touched an acoustic in God knows how long. But it did sound nice on the video. Cheers, Max. Max, so next week and issue next week and issue 2000. Sorry, 200. Yes. You need to get hold of Greg.
Yes. We'll get 4 of us in a room or in the room. I don't think we can do what we quite planned just because of timing and stuff, but we'll do a Studio Rats live event very soon.
Do it from the pub. Just go down the pub. Keith, have fun, bro. Richard, the best FR I've ever tried recent times is the new Fender FR12, and that looks the best as well because it looks like an amp.
Yeah. Has anyone tried the new Laney? They're chatting amongst themselves again. Boom.
Keith, be right back. Need to attend to the water cycle, as Peter Gabriel recently observed. Stuff going in, stuff going out.
I'll drink to that.
Keith, I bet that Dan Electro is the lightest double neck there is. Yeah, but it is. Joe, what's the biggest douchebag rig? I'm going to say any PRS into a Klon into a Dumble. That's interesting. That's basically the John Mayer rig.
The problem is douchebag is a very dirty phrase because 10, 15 years ago it was a PRS into a dual rectifier into a 4x12.
Yeah, what is a douchebag rig for me would be something like I don't know, some pointy thing, BC Rich Warlock into a
Randall,
diesel
into a Randall,
something like that. Exactly, yeah.
A Randall,
yeah. Joe, have you guys heard anything about the new Warren Haynes P90 Les Paul? No. Nice. Oh, I'd like to see that. I love Les Pauls with P90s. Joe says, "Nah, man, I could practice Clifford over till I die and never know." Yes, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
To be honest, I've been trying to play that song since I was about 13 and not even close. But I can play the Tommy Taylor drum part. That's fine.
Shahar, he says, late to the party, goddamn basement flooded. Oh, no, mate. I had to scramble to get all my amps out of there. Oh, mate, what a downer. Hope you got everything out unscathed. Lee, 14 pub gigs and that Strymon is mine, lol.
14, so few.
Yeah. You don't use reverb. You don't need that.
He plays. He must play high-end pubs.
Yeah. Max, that Laney 4x12 FR is capable of mutating the human genome from 300 places. Shahar, I have some extra funds. Thought about getting a new guitar, a new Gibson SG. Yeah, and oh yay! But get the right one. Try not to get one. Go through a few because I find them really hit and miss. If you find a good one, really good. They're a little bit. Just watch the weight of it. For me, it's always the weight. By the way, as I mentioned, Gabriel's new album. Have you guys heard it? There's some tasty sounding drums on that. Oh, nice. I haven't.
He then says,
I don't even know. Nice snare sound on Panopticon. God, that's a prog. Lee would love that title. Lee'd be writing a song about that right now.
He probably is.
That's the best prog title ever. Jeff, Deep Purple have a new song out. Simon McBride has been the guitarist in the band for about 2 years. Are you familiar with him? Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. He's such a great guitar player. SGs are planks. Yeah, SGs are. It's the Gibson Telecaster, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you want.
You know what SG stands for, don't you?
Solid guitar.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Ain't no such thing as a good one. Yes, there is. One of the best guitars I've ever played was an SG. I'd say we're done.
We should at this point play this
Stupid comment of the week.
James, what is the stupid comment of the week?
I need to find it because you sent it to me on WhatsApp. No, you sent me
this ready.
You sent this to me on WhatsApp, and this was about.
Shall I read it out? Shall I read it out? We're not. You've got to show. Oh no, actually, we can't read it because I gave a comment.
Yeah, you can't.
Because I commented back.
You're trying to play heavy metal riffs on a Telecaster with single coils, and you're blaming the modeler. Use the right guitar, and that, my friends, is
stupid comment of the week.
Should we say why it's a stupid comment of the week?
Yeah.
Well, one thing to be restricted by any guitar. Second, one thing to be restricted by any guitar is really bad. Just to say that this guitar is good for that and that guitar is good for that is a very ill-informed.
It's wrong. It's
wrong. It's wrong. First of all, and second of all, heavy metal. I don't think I've played heavy metal since I was about 15.
When you had hair.
When I had hair. They were the days. Just don't be restricted by what you think a guitar does and what it's. And I don't play heavy metal. So anyway,
let's get through these last ones, and then we can sign off. Yes.
Yeah, and also go listen to John 5.
Yeah. And yes.
Keith, I find with my SG that I get confused over where the frets are. They seem offset compared to other guitars because they feel longer because the body's. It just feels like it's a longer. I don't know if they are longer.
I don't know.
Or just maybe where the bridge is. I had my SG standard for 20 years. It was great after I replaced the stock pickups with Seymour Duncan 59s. Now it's awesome. Nice one, Steve. Shahar, so one more question regarding SG humbuckers or P90s. Oh, that's a good question.
Well, the one I've got humbuckers, but that's what it came with, and I can't change it because it's not mine. So
on an SG, I had a 64 with P90s, and it was unbelievable. That is one of my regrets getting rid of that. But I think Shahar would like humbuckers more.
Yeah, probably.
Michael says, hey guys, have you noticed any large difference between Tonex with the real cab versus the amp it's emulating into a real cab? Most reviewers are using IRs on one of the crazies that prefers a real cab. I haven't, never tried it actually into a real cab.
No, me neither.
No. Let us know you get on with it if you get one. David, I've just sold my BC Rich and my rent. Like that.
Yeah.
It's got by the meth. John 5 Telly Metal, absolutely. John 5, what a player. Ben, Shahar, I'm playing one right now with mini humbuckers and I really dig it. 70s reissue. Nice. Sounds like consensus to me. Thanks, fellas. Cheers. Let us know what you get. There's some great. If you can push for it, there's some great. Oh no, hold on. He says, by the way, I toed in the hole. Not life changing, but fantastic.
Right at that point, that's it. We're done because that's a closing comment of the show.
How can you not? Toad in the hole is pretty. The first time you have toad in the hole, you go. It can't have been good. It can't have been a good one. Toad in the hole is just like
it's life changing. Toad in the hole or cottage pie or shepherd's pie because obviously the one big difference.
Yeah. Toad in the hole.
Yeah, I think you're right. And on that bombshell. Thank you ever so much for joining us, boys and girls. It's been an absolute blast, as it always is. Next week is show 200. 4 years of this craziness.
What are we going to do for We've got to do something special.
Get slowly stewed throughout the evening.
Ah, get a little drinky one, couldn't we?
We can have a couple of bottles of something serious lined up, and every time someone makes,
nice. Oh yeah, maybe
we can play the Tonex drinking game.
Nice.
Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Keep your questions coming in. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you can do it, not only to the normal Studio Rats channel, but also to TSR Jovie Talks Tech, that'd be great. I'm so close now to that magic 3,000 watch hours. It'd be really great if we could bust that for the 200. That'd be amazing. Loads of cool stuff coming, new products and everything. But for now, it's good night from me.
That's cold on. That's so good though. Max says, live jam with online latency. Ought to be amazing. That would be amazing. That would actually be really funny. That would be funny. Yes. Sorry, did you say good night from me? Did you say?
Yeah.
And good night from me.
And we'll see you next week for episode 200. Night, everyone.
Cheers, guys.